Hi, friends! Today I will tell you a story about a girl named Astra and the devil that haunted a spooky theater. In the sprawling city of Avatar World, life buzzed with energy. Towering skyscrapers loomed over bustling markets, narrow alleys twisted like mazes, and forgotten corners held secrets waiting to be uncovered. Among the city's residents was a girl named Astra, who thrived on adventure, while others spent their time indoors. Astra and her two best friends, Lena and Milo, explored every nook and cranny of the city. Together, they uncovered hidden tunnels, climbed rooftops, and made the forgotten parts of Avatar World their playground. But even in a city as vibrant as Avatar World, there were places no one dared to go. The most infamous of these was the old Midtown Theater. Once a glamorous hotspot, the theater had been abandoned for decades, and its crumbling facade seemed to whisper of forgotten dangers. The people of Avatar World spoke of a red-skinned devil haunting its halls, luring those who dared to enter. Just a story to keep people away, Astra said one afternoon as she and her friends walked past the theater. Lena shivered. But what if it's true? I've heard people disappear in there. Milo shrugged. Even if there's no devil, the place looks like it could fall apart at any moment. Not worth the risk. Astra grinned, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Risk is half the fun. Think about it, an abandoned theater in the middle of Avatar World. There could be anything in there. Like treasure? Milo asked, his curiosity piqued. Or ghosts, Lena muttered, glancing nervously at the building. Despite Lena's protests, Astra's sense of adventure and Milo's curiosity were impossible to resist. That evening, just as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the city, the trio stood before the theater's heavy doors. Let's just take a quick look, Astra said. If it's boring or creepy, we'll leave. Promise. Lena hesitated, then sighed. All right, but if anything weird happens, we're out of here. The theater was cold and silent inside, its grandeur reduced to dust and decay. Broken seats lay scattered across the aisles, and the faded curtain on the stage sagged like a forgotten memory. A faint smell of mildew hung in the air. This place is incredible, Astra whispered, her voice echoing through the cavernous space. Milo wandered down the aisle, picking up an old ticket stub. It's like stepping into another world. Imagine the shows they used to have here. Lena stayed close to Astra, her unease growing with every step. I don't like this. It feels wrong. As they explored, a strange hum filled the air, low and rhythmic, like the static of a broken radio. It grew louder, transforming into a raspy, sing-song voice that seemed to come from nowhere. Who dares wander into my domain? The friends froze. From the stage stepped a figure that seemed to materialize out of the shadows. It was tall and thin, its skin glowing a deep, menacing red. Horns curved back from its head. Its eyes were hollow, and it had a sinister smile on his face, enough to send chills down Astra's spine. When it smiled, its jagged teeth gleamed in the dim light. Tell me that's not real, Milo whispered, his voice trembling. Lena clutched Astra's arm. I told you this was a bad idea. The devil tilted its head, examining them, like a predator sizing up its prey. 3 little souls bold enough to enter my theater. How delightful. We didn't mean to bother you, Astra said, trying to keep her voice steady. Astra looked back at her friends for a moment while she was waiting for a reply from the devil. She could tell her friends were ready to run at any given moment. The devil chuckled, a deep, chilling sound that echoed through the room. Leave? But the show has only just begun. Before they could move, the devil raised a long clawed finger. The trio were fully paralyzed by some unknown magic that the devil had casted. Before long, Milo began walking on his own towards the stage against his will. No! Astra cried, grabbing his hand. She pulled with all her strength. In moments, Milo was gone. Lena backed away, tears streaming down her face. Astra, what's happening? The devil's grin widened. Oh, don't worry, little one. You'll join him soon enough. This time it was Lena's turn. Astra tried her best to stop Lena, but she was powerless. With one final cry, Lena disappeared into the swirling blackness. Bring them back, Astra demanded, her voice breaking. The devil's laughter echoed louder, shaking the walls. If you wish to save them, come find me. But beware, little one. Not all who seek me return. With that, the devil vanished, leaving Astra alone in the decaying theater. Astra didn't run. Her friends needed her, and she wasn't about to abandon them. Squaring her shoulders, she climbed onto the stage. Astra discovered a hidden staircase which descended into the darkness itself. Astra went down the stairs. The air grew colder with every step Astra took. The whispers of the city above faded, replaced by an eerie silence. Finally, the staircase ended in a massive underground chamber. Astra couldn't believe just how big the place was. At the center of the room stood the devil. Behind him were her friends, trapped, unable to move or speak, their faces pale and frightened. "You're braver than I thought," the devil said, its voice dripping with mockery. But bravery alone won't save them. All of a sudden, their surroundings changed. In a blink of an eye, they were standing in front of a theater. Yet another one of the devil's tricks. "What do you want?" Astra asked, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her heart. The devil's grin widened. "A test. Solve my riddle and your friends are free. Fail and you will join them." Astra nodded. "What's the riddle?" The devil leaned closer, its glowing eyes locking onto hers. "I walk without feet. I roam without a body. I enter the house but never through the door. What am I?" Astra's mind raced. The words spun in her head, searching for meaning. She thought about the city, the winds that whispered through alleys and slipped through cracks in walls. She gave it one last thought and came up with an answer. Even though she was worried, she decided to speak. "The wind," she said finally. The devil's smile faltered. "Very clever." The shadows around Lena and Milo began to fade. They stumbled free, running to Astra and hugging her tightly. "You did it!" Lena cried, her voice shaking with relief, but the devil's laughter filled the chamber once more. "Not so fast!" The trio started hearing all kinds of spooky whispers. It's as if the devil was summoning more of his minions to help him trap the trio in the theater itself. The ground shook as the devil loomed over them. "I never promised you safety," it hissed. "You may leave, but only if you can escape my theater." Astra grabbed her friend's hands. "Run!" They bolted through a tunnel that had opened at the far end of the chamber. The shadows chased them, their dark tendrils clawing at the walls. The tunnel twisted and turned, leading them back to the theater's main hall. The devil's voice echoed behind them, mocking and relentless. "Faster, little ones. The shadows are hungry." They reached the theater doors and shoved them open, tumbling out onto the street. The shadows stopped at the doorway, retreating with a hiss. For a moment, the three friends lay on the pavement, gasping for breath. Then, from deep within the theater, the devil's voice rang out one last time. "You may have escaped, but Avatar World is my city. One day, you'll wander too far again." From that night on, Astra, Lena, and Milo stayed far away from the Midtown Theater, but the devil's warning haunted them. And on quiet nights, when the wind howled through Avatar World, Astra could swear she heard his laughter, reminding her that he was still watching, waiting for them to make one wrong move. Although Astra and her friends never ran in with the devil again, the same couldn't be said for other unfortunate adventurers. Thus, the theater in Avatar World remained forever haunted by the horned devil,